What is up, beautiful flower buds? Welcome to the channel. So glad you're here. My name is Kitty, and do me a solid, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ding the notification bell as well so you don't miss out when I do post videos, especially if you're interested in things like tarot readings, Reiki, Qigong, yoga, cooking videos, which I haven't done in a while, but cooking videos, things like that. Then definitely like and become a subscriber and become one of my flower buds. Really would love to have you here, so yes, subscribe. So if you are not a first timer and you've been here for a while, what's up, you guys? Sending bundles of love your way. Catch it and receive it. It's for you. Sending loads of hugs and appreciation your way. I love you, love you, love you. So today's reading is going to be in reference to the past. Well, not really your past life, but more so like your ancestors. Yeah. So I had, like, a couple of days ago, I had the thought come to me. No moth. There's a little moth that's just trotting its way over here. Make a U-turn, please. Thank you. Okay. So let me see. Like, yeah, for like a couple of, all right, yeah. So yeah, like a couple of days ago, I had the idea of doing a reading that was specifically for like the righting the wrongs of the past, and with that came the clarification of a lot. Well, I won't say a lot, but there are some things that we're dealing with karmically that have nothing to do with our own actions. So yeah, some of the things that we're dealing with karmically are not things that was really connected to us personally, but more so like what our family did. And because it was in our family line, it has become our burden. It's become something that we have to learn from. We have to right it, so to speak. And so I'm getting even goosebumps just now. So a lot of ancestors are sort of like apologetic when it comes to the fact that, and I'm getting like strong goosebumps here for confirmation, a lot of ancestors you know, didn't have a chance in their life to really figure things out, or to really do what they needed to get done in their lifetime before they pass on. There are ancestors who have made mistakes and who are what is the word? Remorse. Yeah. And you know, they're trying to help you in your current life, to help you right these wrongs, to help you make the right decisions, so to speak, so you don't have to put that burden on your next, you know, or so whatever it is that needs to stop stops with you. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get out. Okay, so I've noticed that I am, like, with this reading, I've been like sort of like flipping over my words, so to speak. So a lot of this, like, yes. So a lot of these ancestors, I feel like, wasn't able, and this is collectively speaking, weren't able to either speak their truth or live their truth, or somewhere down the line they just felt like it was in their best interest at that moment to do some manipulative, shiesty stuff, whatever they needed to do to get ahead, or whatever they needed to do, you know, or whatever they needed to do to get by in their life with whatever they had. And so for some people, that maybe that was getting over on people, and maybe that manipulative energy still stuck with your family line, because it's like, no, this is gonna be here until somebody in your family line breaks it, does something different. And so here we are right now with this 4-pile reading to let you know, like, what is it? What mistakes? Okay, what mistakes are still a pattern mistake in your life. Okay, what mistakes from your ancestors are you here to correct? So if that's something that you're interested in, keep watching. Okay, y'all, let's talk about this back of the deck energy. So she feels, she knows. So collectively, this is the back of the deck energy, so this is going to apply to us. She feels, she knows. A lot of you guys are turning your back, or like turning, you can't see that, but a lot of you guys are like turning your back. I'll show you. Alright, you see how like all of this is like just behind her? Do you guys see how like all of this is like technically behind her because she's looking in the opposite direction? You're trying to turn your back on all the things that your ancestors have done, or the people before you have done. You're like turning your back on it because to you feel like you know it, or you feel like you have the answers, or you feel like you don't need to look to them for help, and I'm getting goosebumps like run up and down my body. Like you're like turning your back on them, or turning your back on your intuition, or trying to turn your back on your family, or something along those lines, where you're turning your back. Okay, where you're not trying to take in the information that's presented to you, or trying to appear to you, or coming into your life. Okay, you are ignoring the lessons as well, or they did, as you know. But yes, this is knowledge, trust and faith. Hold your vision in Earth School. Like oh my gosh, like this could be a reading in itself, just as speaking to the collective. But you're turning your back on your knowledge. You're not applying your knowledge. You're losing faith, because this originally came out, hold your vision came out in reverse. Okay, and you come here. You have come here, your ancestors and those have come before you, they've come here to learn a series of lessons, to learn things, to study things like higher learning, studying, soul growth. So when you ascend, you can become a guide, or you can become like, you don't have to relearn these lessons, because you've already learned them. And that's what I'm feeling like. Earth is a school. Okay, you incarnate on Earth because you need to learn some things, okay, in order for your soul to grow. And so for a lot of you guys, you are not seeking knowledge. You are just, I'm not sure, like just living, or just ignoring, or just disconnected. This could just simply mean like disconnected from yourself, from your spirit team, from your ancestors. Just this disconnection from the fact that you're meant to be here to learn, and you're meant to hold the vision and bring it to life. You're meant to find that trust and faith, not only within your spiritual team and with your ancestors, but also within yourself. So that was a lot. I know. So yes, you guys, that was like the back of the deck energy. So let's take our 3 deep mindful breaths so we can just get into it, so that we can just see what past mistakes you're here to learn. So if you notice, I have my peach mango candle here. It's lit. The vibration is high here, you guys. I got my strawberry incense going, and it just smells amazing. And I'm just saying that to say, like, some of you guys need to put yourself in a different mood. Okay, some of you guys there's this attitude. Okay, I'm really picking up on collective attitude. Like, some of you guys are really mad, or just done with your, like, the spiritual aspect of life, or just trying to connect, and just, you're upset, I'm feeling like, because you have to be the one to fix what they did. I feel like there's like this, no, like, I'm not doing it, they should have done it. Okay, that's the type of energy that I'm feeling like from the collective. Okay, because yes, you have free will, and yes, this is your life to do it as you please. But if you are making the same mistakes, let's just go ahead and take our deep breaths. Okay, because I really did just pick up on that energy. But I lit that candle and things like that, just so we all can just be open to receiving, and we can just be in good spirits and good energy, okay? So inhale and exhale. Yes, and inhale, exhale. I just feel really good after I do my deep breaths anyways. So inhale and exhale. We have 4 piles today to choose from. If more than one calls out to you, you guys already know that means that more than one has a message for you, and choosing more than one is perfectly a-okay. So you're going to choose between the Tiger's Eye raw crystal, lapis lazuli, favorite of mine, raw crystal, black tourmaline, whoa, almost dropped that, and amethyst. So I'll give you guys a second now. Choose with your intuition. Alright, you guys, I'm going to start with the Tiger's Eye, but if you chose any of the other ones, that is a-okay. I'll see you there. Alright, pile number 1, if you chose the Tiger's Eye. So for you, I am feeling like courage, self-confidence. These are key words that I'm hearing for you. Courage, self-confidence. I'm hearing bold. I'm also, I know I already said courageous, but there's this very courageous, whatever you are meant to mend or correct from your ancestors is going to need you to be courageous, okay? That may have been something they weren't able to have, like they didn't have the courage to do whatever they needed to do, and they're sending that courageous energy spirit to you. Okay, I'm also going to look up, Tiger's Eye is also a very, very good for protection as well. And you guys, there is this moth, I think it like maybe injured its wing and can't fly, but there is this moth literally right here. It has an orange head and sort of like an orangish body, so that's makes me think of like sacred chakra. Tiger's Eye was carried as an amulet against curses or ill wishes. This is a powerful stone that helps you to release fear and anxiety and aids in harmony and balance. It stimulates taking action and helps you to make decisions with discernment and understanding and unclouded by your emotions. Okay, so if this sounds like your situation currently, your ancestors are literally like handing you this energy, okay? Absorb it, okay? It's meant to block and protect you against any type of curses. Anybody wishing ill on you, it's going to send it right back to them times 10, okay? This is a very powerful stone, so as I'm holding it in, just absorb this energy, okay? Feel it absorbing your fear, your anxiety, and feel it giving to you balance and harmony and just giving you the courage to take action, okay? I'm getting very, very hot. Man, I'm getting hot. I'm like hot. I'm sweating. Wow. Okay, you guys. So yeah, y'all are on fire. or you guys definitely like felt that energy. Let me know down in the comments if you definitely felt this energy. But your energy or your ancestors' energy definitely just picked up. Like, can you guys see me right now? I wasn't sweating at first, but I mean the heat of this pile just heated up. Okay, so let me just, yeah, I definitely did just get hot, and it's not from the candle, so don't think I'm tripping, y'all. Okay, y'all, so I'm just gonna move right into the cards. And so this is going to tell me, these two cards here are going to tell me you have galactic and you have the arts. Yes, okay, first of all, galactic, I'm thinking like a very deep connection with astrology, with the stars. If not you, your ancestors, that's something that maybe you just naturally if not know about, you naturally take interest into astrology or into things like the zodiac signs, or looking up at the stars, or fascinated with the sky, or just always wondering what's up there. I feel like because your ancestors were definitely connected with being the connection, or just connected with this. And remember, I just sent you that courage and released that fear and anxiety from you. I feel like, and I said that your ancestors didn't have the courage, or, you know, to do what they wanted to do. The arts. You come from a whole bunch of creative beings, creative people. And you guys expressed with your creativeness. And I feel like if you are creating and you weren't like, you know, trying to like put yourself out there, I feel like you are protected against people who wish harm on you, and I feel like you're protected against people who don't want you to succeed, and you need to be more aware of the people that you have around you that don't really want you to succeed. I was literally getting bucked just now, because your ancestors are really not really pissed, but they're like upset at not you, but just at the people that you have around you, because it's like, why aren't you using your discernment? These people are like either stealing your ideas, or the people that you have around you are unsupportive of your ideas. And I'm hearing like, you know better, like, you know that these people, or you know that the way you think isn't true, or something along those lines. So it's either people in your life that are, you know, that aren't supportive of you, or, you know, or just, you know, giving you like wonky energy, or it's like, you know that you're talented, and you know that you're really good at what you do, but you're not giving yourself credit. And that's what it is. I feel like that's what it is for, if not, you know, if not all of you, a good amount of you, because this energy that I'm feeling is sort of like wanting you to like, you know, and it's like, you know, in your ancestors didn't I feel like they didn't pursue their passion. They wanted to so bad, but for whatever reason they couldn't, or they just didn't. Maybe it was because of fear that they weren't good enough, or fear that for some of them, a lot of them, it was fear. And for a lot of them, it was they had so much jealousy around them that it just took over. Like, people were just really jealous of them, and maybe even stole their ideas, or stole, like, if we're talking about music, maybe stole their music. And I'm hearing like, or stealing your jokes, or just somebody just trying to manipulate you in some form of way. And if not you, if you feel like this doesn't pertain to you, this is the mistake of your ancestors. Okay, they made that mistake, and they don't want you to make the same mistake. If you're talented, pursue that talent. That's what they're saying. Because your ancestors' line, they keep meeting this point to where they're so talented, they're so gifted, and it's like out of this world, but they're either scared to pursue it, or something, there's like either a known obstacle, or just like a imagined obstacle where you feel like you're not going to get but so far. But that's just not true. That's all in your head, you know. Legacy of light. You are talented. You were born talented, and the gifts that you have were passed down to you from your ancestors, down your bloodline, okay, down to you. Okay, you have this passed down talent that's meant for you to pursue. It's meant for you. Yes, your ancestors were not able to fulfill their dreams. They want you in your life to fulfill your dreams, to fulfill your passion. I'm getting goosebumps, y'all, and I'm really ready to cry. Woo. I held it down. Sorry, you guys, about that. Wow, this is a very powerful energy, because your ancestors, they had so many bright ideas, but they weren't able to bring it into form. They don't want that to be you. Whatever ideas you have, they really are pushing you. They're look how heavy they are. Look at this right here, and look, they're all around you. They're like, yes, you can do it. Come on, come on, come on. It's almost like they're rooting for you, but it's also like they're dependent on you. Like, your family line is dependent on you. Because, or maybe it's like, okay, you know how like you're the last of your bloodline type of thing? I feel like it's like that. Even if you're not, it's just like, I don't, like, you have to be the one to bring it into form. It's got to be you. You got to do it. You got to do it, not just for you. You're doing it, I mean, you're doing it for you, but once you do it, you're freeing your bloodline. You're freeing your bloodline. Okay? And this is also, you have the King of Earth in reverse. All right, so the King of Earth, you guys. Yes. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it is in reverse. So the reverse King of Earth may represent someone who expects others to do for him or her what is he too lazy to do for himself. He can feel he is the Lord of his domain and believe all who dwell within are there to serve him. He may even be someone who tends towards chauvinism or misogynistic behavior. The reverse king can be rigid and controlling, bullish and pedantic. He can also be jealous and unwilling to relinquish anything he sees as his property. He may represent someone who is vainglorious, a name dropper, who believes themselves to be far more important than they are, and be willing to take another's laurels for their own by suggesting that their success is only due to his help or counsel. Y'all hear that? So y'all is being the type of person that's like entitled and bullish. A name dropper, you know what that is, you guys. That's the type of belittling energy. Okay, and this is like, and these cards right here are telling me the mistakes. Okay, all of these cards right here are telling me the mistakes that your ancestors made. And this doesn't necessarily have to be you. So when I'm saying you, if it relates to you, I'm talking about you. But this card right here is representing the energy of your ancestors. This is their mistake that they made. Okay, so understand that this card is telling you the exact mistake that they made, and their mistakes was taking advantage of the people that were actually in their life and treating people like they weren't important or they weren't contributing to their lives, you know. And I felt like just also user energy as well, using people and not giving them credit or not thanking them, just using them to step on people, I feel like, to get to where you want to be. Okay, when the reverse King of Earth appears in your reading, it may symbolize a need to free yourself from a controlling relationship where you are not treated as an equal. Or, okay, he might also be telling you to let go and lighten up. It may even be a time to laugh at yourself and to not believe your own hyperbole. Whether he represents you or another, the reverse King of Earth cautions against egocentric behavior that restricts or limits others. If you are in a position of power or responsibility, remember always that it is not in your favor to abuse it. Allow those around you to shine when it is their time to be in the spotlight. Yes, and that was like, okay, this was their biggest mistake. I'm seeing right here, this King of Earth in reverse. Like, they were really like, so say for example, they had their moment in the light, and when it was someone else's turn who was around them, like, they were jealous, so they try and sabotage that. They try and, your ancestors tried to sabotage, like, this could even be like another family member. You know, just because, like, maybe another family member had good ideas and they were trying to really bring their ideas to life, and this King of Earth, you know, really sabotaged them or just made them feel like what they were doing wasn't good enough. And I feel like if that passed on in your family line, you have been passed on not only these gifts and talents, but also the fears of that belittling energy that is just in your family line, and that's what you're meant to, like, right. That's why you've been giving this confidence and courage. Yes, and the advice that they have for you is it's time to release negativity. I'm hearing that it's been time. But yes, this Scorpio energy, full moon in Scorpio. Yeah, so you also, you know, it's time for you to release negativity, and it's also time for you to release the sting. It's time for you to release the poison. Okay? The toxic thoughts that's in your mind, I'm feeling like too. Because if you don't have anybody directly around you that's feeding you with like negative thoughts that you can't do it, or, you know, this type of manipulative energy that I'm feeling, then it's your own negative thoughts. Expect a powerful change. Wow. New moon eclipse. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Expect the powerful change, but you also have to be that change. Take time to breathe it out. Yes, I knew it. Like this can become so overwhelming. The back and forth. There's just so much back and forth. You are a very talented person. Very talented. Very gifted in the areas of specifically the arts. You might be talented in other areas, but specifically the arts. That has been passed down. Literally. Your artistic gifts have been passed down from generation to generation, and now it's to you, so that you can bring this artistic flavor, I don't even know, bring it into form, and bring it into form the correct way, the right way, without stepping on people to get to where you need to be, because you don't need to. There's enough money to go around for everybody can be stable and things like that. Like, you don't have to sabotage yourself, and you don't have to sabotage these other relationships that you're in. You know, you don't have to. Take time to breathe it out. Yeah, I feel like this can become suffocating to the point where you can't breathe. And so the advice is to just take time to breathe, fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. So yes, look, you are literally not alone. Like I said, like you have your ancestors. They're not only rooting for you, but they're also helping you, and they want to help you more. But I feel like, you know, that it's you almost know that it's up to you to do all these changes and to do things the right way. But I feel like you're like, I want to do things my way. I don't want to follow this path that's been laid out for me. Okay? And whatever path that you're choosing, whether you're following a traditional path or whether you're following your own path, just know that you're not alone. Your ancestors and your spirit team are not going to let you do it alone, no matter what path you follow. They just want you to do things the right way without damaging yourself and others. Okay? And they want you to succeed, because none of your ancestors have been able to succeed without this form of manipulation, without, you know, that I just read about, that king of earth. Okay, they want you to enjoy life, and they want you to enjoy success. They want you to enjoy the lightheartedness that comes with being on earth. And then you have big picture thinking. So yes, Pleiadian energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Look, you don't have those, and look, all this, all that energy right there, like, you are literally being given these gifts and being given these ideas from your ancestors so that you can pursue them, so that you can be successful. Not only successful, but stable. That is, oh yeah. So I'm gonna pull out some of these cards to see if anything else wants to come out. Let's see. I want to ask mysterious guard. So yes, like I said, you are protected. You definitely need to really work on balancing your emotions. I feel like at times you can become like heavy with emotions, because I was even about to I did like draw some tears during this reading as well, because this energy, these emotions are very heavy. You have heavy negative emotions that definitely can make you feel like things are going one way, but it isn't. Again, with the Scorpio, needle barrier. Are you taking drugs, or what is this? Needle, feeling pins and needle type of feeling, type of pains, because you're thinking so much. Something you're involving in is draining you. draining your energy, making you feel so fatigued. Could be drugs, could be those heavy thinking, could be, you know, just thinking way too hard about your next move or what you need to do. You are guided. All you need to do is just chill, calm down, and get your direction and go into that direction. I feel like you have a lot of hesitation because there's this lot of back and forth feel for energy. Yep. Look, y'all unlocking some gifts too. Sacred crane, y'all tapping into some very beautiful energy, but at the same time, you have someone around you who is jealous, or you could be the jealous person, just jealous of everybody else's success. That jealous energy is definitely in this pile. You're unlocking new things, though. I can't really tell you what you're unlocking. I feel like when you guys, I'm going to leave it here and tell you to meditate. When you go into meditation, ask yourself, what is the next right thing for me to do? How can I unlock my gifts? How can I pursue them in the best way possible? Protect and ground yourself. That's what I have for you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And wait. I'm going to pull just 1 or 2 word cards for you. I knew it. You blow people away by your awesomeness, but you're also afraid of people, which is weird. Like, you're afraid of people's thoughts and opinions. Okay, you don't try to see it a lot, but I mean, you try not to show it a lot, but yeah. New house, new job, you a whole new you, and drink more water. That's it, you guys. See you next time. Okay, you guys, if you chose the lapis lazuli, so when I think about the lapis lazuli crystal, I'm oh, what was that? Okay, throat chakra for sure. Some of you guys, or some of your ancestors, weren't able to speak their truth, and even you yourself might get choked up sometimes when it comes to speaking up or speaking for yourself, or even like just any form of like speech and talking. You might get choked up. But this is about deep celestial healing. This is about like royalty and honor, God's and power, spirit and vision. This is about a universal symbol of wisdom and truth, which I'm getting goosebumps because that's just so awesome. So the lapis lazuli also is associated with truth, intellect, courage, royalty, like I said, strength, wisdom, and it is also used to ward off evil. Okay, and the person wearing it can also improve their eyes. So, fun fact for you, the lapis lazuli crystal. So I'm going to tell you the mistakes of your ancestors that you're here to correct. So you have biblical, angels, ships, orphan. Okay, the mistakes of your ancestors. For some, I'm feeling like, what is this? Like leaving family, or putting faith, or putting your religion, or putting whatever faith there was before your family, or just not even giving up your family, but just making your children feel alone, or something like that. These are also going to tell me about the mistakes of your ancestors. We have the counselor, spirals of manifestation, and listening for the truth. Okay, let me get some clarity. Okay, what was the mistakes? Okay, so for some of you, your ancestors struggled with faith. Okay, they struggled with faith. They struggled with following their intuition, or following following something. Oh, okay, following their intuition. They struggled, sorry you guys, they struggled with following their intuition. They all, you know, your ancestors often felt like they were alone. Okay, you might also come from a family of ancestors of slaves, or just, you know, people who have been taken away from their home, or, you know, people who were just made to feel out of place, or your ancestors did not feel like they belonged wherever they were. They did not feel like they belonged. So yeah, I'm feeling slavery. Like at first, in the beginning, maybe they had like strong faith in their angels, but at some point in time, they felt like it was just them. Like they just had to struggle. They felt like it was just them in the world, dealing with themselves. So oftentimes they manifested the opposite of what they wanted in their life. Listening for the truth, yeah, they couldn't decipher something. They couldn't decipher maybe their emotions with spirit. Okay, so I'm gonna look up this counselor. So yeah, you guys were the ancestors. What was their mistake? So their biggest mistake that I'm seeing is just not listening to their intuition, not following or not answering the call to do the right thing, or not. Because I mean, I'm feeling like your ancestors was someone who was highly, their opinion, I'm maybe feeling like their opinion or their voice was something that was highly needed or highly wanted. Okay, so they were someone who was well spoken and emotionally, you know, emotionally like balanced. So yes, that's what I'm feeling like for the mistakes of your ancestors. Something involving speaking up, or just something involving communication. Maybe there was a lack of communication, because yes, like the mistake of your ancestors I'm seeing was literally like maybe refusing to answer the call, or refusing, or just not being able to discern what the right thing was to do. Because like I said, like they felt alone. They definitely felt like they was going at life alone. They did not feel like the angels' presence, even though they were there. And at one point in time, they were actually very highly connected with whatever God source they believed in. But maybe their hard work wasn't paying off how they thought it was going to be. And they sort of, at some point in time, lost faith. Okay, I'm going to look up the spirals of manifestation. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, like, that's what I'm feeling like. Yeah, they definitely gave up. Like, with this spirals of manifestation, like, they thought, like, you know, they were working hard. For example, like, they were working hard, and the angels was like, I'm going to bless you. And, you know, like, just keep working hard. I'm going to bless you. This is just a scenario, okay? And, you know, the angels told him, like, you're going to go places. You know, and when it didn't work out how they thought they would, maybe they lost, you know how things are taken away in order for new things to be replaced. So maybe when things like got taken out of your life, you was like, is that love? You're not you, but your ancestors was like, how can that be love? Like, the ancestors straight betrayed me, you know, or not the ancestors, but the angels, you know, like, I was straight, like, you know, they just felt like they got played by the angels, so to speak, or they got like a shitty hand dealt to them. With this message here, just one turn on the spiral loop of creation can see your manifestation taking root in the world. You must hold true to your faith. Here we go. You must hold true to your faith and keep working on your progress. Forget about believing in what you're seeing. Forget about believing it when you're seeing it. Any old soul or young soul can do that. You are bigger, braver, more of an ancient soul. You have enough chutzpah to believe it so that you can see it. Do not give in to those who tell you it should have already happened if you have, or that you have failed. Yeah, so like I said, yeah, this is giving up before you've given the ancestors, your ancestors. Okay, and you might even also have a tendency to do this as well. Like, you know that you're meant to go places, and you're even looking back. Okay, you see this orphan is just looking at all the things that they were promised, and it's like, well, it's not here, and I just don't feel like working anymore. So just is like giving up before you've given it a chance. And then this is like, you get sort of like whatever type of emotion that arises could be anger or sadness, and that blocks the manifestation, that blocks what you're already doing, because you're like, whatever, I give up. I'm not building these furnitures because I'm not getting, I'm not getting successful how I thought I was going to be successful. And then, so this pile, the mistakes of your ancestors that you're here to right is to learn to sit and listen and wait for your guidance. Wait for the truth to be revealed. Listening for the truth. Not listening to your fears, not listening to your doubts, not listening to your worries. And your ancestors' biggest mistakes was giving up right when they were just, and it was like that. And your ancestors was like, forget it, I'm done with this. I'd rather be poor, or ended up being poor, ended up struggling simply because they gave up. Goosebumps to confirm that. A lot of your ancestors did not give themselves a chance. Maybe you were a builder of ships, or maybe you were told if you build this, you were going to go this place and that place. But the first time you build something, maybe it got rejected, and you was like, I worked for 21 days on this piece of furniture and you don't want it. And like disappointment and rejection can really make you feel low. But it's like, don't give up just because you're at a low, and don't give up just because you haven't seen whatever progress you think you're meant to see. Like progress happens on different levels. Of course, your ancestors know that now, and they're trying to deliver that message to you. They don't want you to give up before you've even started yet. And you can be like, well, I'm putting in all this work. There's still much more to go. Okay? That's what they're telling me. Okay? And that's what they're trying to tell you. But once you begin to get emotional, you can't hear or see nothing. You just see your failure. You just see how hard you worked for nothing, so to speak. And that's you in your current life, and that's also how your family, your ancestors were, and that was their biggest mistake. Because they realized later on in their life, or maybe when they even ascended, they realized, like, had I kept working on that, it would have grew to become that success that Spirit was telling me about. And so they have learned to trust in their angels and trust in the guidance. Trust in where they're being guided. Trust in their path. Trust in the journey. That was the biggest mistake of your ancestors, not trusting. Thinking that it was just them doing it alone. Thinking that their hard work was just hard work. It was just for nothing. Yeah, it's just really not feeling good about themselves, or really not feeling good about their decisions. And they were very like traditional people. Like they worshipped whatever deities, gods they worshipped. They did rituals, and it's like, why am I doing all of this and I'm not seeing anything? Like, I'm doing my part, but when are y'all gonna do y'all's part? And that's what I'm seeing though. Mirage Night. Yeah, so your ancestors in a lot of ways block their own blessings with their attitudes. Yeah, so sweet and passionate, but very rageful. Lots of anger, but very sweet. Okay, so that must be like passionate. Yes, they were like very passionate. Your ancestors were very passionate. They put a lot of hard work, effort, and energy into it. So, and I can understand like when things went south, like how awful that was, because really you're very sensitive. You're very sweet ancestors I'm speaking about. Okay, but do they go hard? Yes. Okay, like they're very sweet. Your ancestors were people who were very sweet, very genuine, very connected in a lot of ways. And when they worked hard. They put all their effort and energy into it, okay? They did everything that they had to do. And, I want you to know, or your ancestors to know, that you didn't do anything wrong. And the only thing that you did wrong, so to speak, was not believing hard as you worked. Like, you worked hard, but you didn't believe in yourself hard enough. Okay? You just thought like, okay, I'm doing this, and it's gonna happen overnight. No. Nothing happens overnight. You have Mirage Dragon and Mirage Knights. So yes, you had a lot of ideas that you, I guess, wanted to, the ancestors, but they weren't able to look on the bright side either. Like, heavy emotions that I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that when you became, even you, I'm speaking about you, because like I feel like this is like a family line thing as well. Everything I'm telling you guys about is literally like directed to not only you but your family line. There's a lot of anger, feeling like you've been cheated and robbed, feeling like all you ever done and had to do was work your fingers to the bones, and your ancestors are telling you that you don't have to work so hard. Look, confirmation. Your ancestors are telling you that you don't have to work so hard. You just need to put in the effort, but you need to believe in yourself hard. Okay? You need to trust hard. Trust your spirit team hard, and trust in the direction that you're going. Okay? And their advice for you is to work through your fears. Don't try to avoid them. New Moon in Scorpio, work through your fears. They also say a time for healing. Okay, so they want you to work through your fears, and they want you to give yourself the time, space, and energy, and put some energy into healing. Okay, let's see. What is it that they want you to heal? What does pile number 2, ancestors, what type of healing does pile number 2 need? Emotional healing. Pile number 2, you guys need to put energy into emotionally healing. Okay, so you have a tendency to go back and forth with yourself. So maybe you need to heal how you feel about success, how you feel about wealth, how you feel about money. Okay, oh yes, that's what it is. How you feel about success, how you feel about money. All of that needs to change if you want to attract success into your life. It does not require, I mean, it requires hard work, but it does not require you to work to death without any rest. Okay? You have this conflict going on within yourself. It's like a battle, and it's sort of like not your battle. It's like, it's the battle that your family line has had, and then you sort of took on those same thoughts, and you're fighting off those thoughts. You're fighting off that feeling. And so it is a very strong emotion, okay? That strong fear of failure. But failure, you know, you have to experience failure in order to experience success. You have to also, yes, you have to learn to clear your emotions, clear your energy field, because that will allow new feelings and new emotions to blossom there as well. So perspective, none of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. So your ancestors' advice for you is to shift your perspective. Find the common ground. Oh, look, and loosen your grip. Coping mechanism, density, addiction. Let God in. Okay? That is your message and your advice. A time for healing, perspective. Work through your fears. Loosen your grip. Like, a time for healing, perspective. I'm going to see if anything else wants to come out for pile number 2. Any other advice, messages from your angels, from your ancestors. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. With that orphan and not feeling like they had guidance. Yes, they realized that the whole time they were looking for someone to swoop in and fix everything, when they forgot to forge a new path for themselves. When there were no doors opening up, they just gave up. But they don't want you to give up when you feel like all the doors are shutting in your face. They want you to forge a new path. because they've learned, your ancestors have learned that when one door closes, you can always open another one. Earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. Okay, they also want you to take your time. They don't want you to rush things, because it's the rushing that leads to mistakes. They want you to take your time in everything that you do. They want you to put your life, well, not really your life, but they want you to really put all of you into whatever you're doing. Jump in, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. They want you to do something different. They want you to pave a new way for the next generation that is full of healed energy, and that is full of faith, and that is full of open communication and communicating with not only other people, but with yourself compassionately. All paths lead home, okay? That's why. So it doesn't matter what path you're on, all paths lead you to that one path that you're meant to be on anyways. Okay, you're never on the wrong path. Whenever you feel like you've strayed, that is meant to teach you something, so that when you hop back on the straight and narrow path, you'll know exactly what to do. You'll have all the resources that you need. Intuition, turn your gaze within, meditate. Okay, and that's what I have for you guys. Before I go, I'm going to pull a couple of word cards for you to see what wants to come out, to see if you have any extra couple words. Okay. This says, okay. So this says you currently off balance chakras, and I can tell you that it's your throat chakra. Because all I see is lots of blue. All this blue energy is just really catching my attention, as well as green energy, which relates to your heart chakra. Learning to center yourself, come back to your heart space, which will allow you to come back to that loving space, that compassionate space. And yeah, so green and blue chakras are the chakras that I'm seeing here. You are going places, but not everyone's ready to go. Do not stop your plans, hold your life, or settle before you're satisfied. Following your dreams will take you far. Do not force, go with the flow. So you also have a family card. There's still your mom, dad, sister, brother, friend, etc. No. Toxic is toxic. You have the right to cut anyone off that's unhealthy for you. Okay, and that's what your ancestors wanted to let you know. Okay, because family can definitely hold you back as well. Especially trying to follow in the traditional sense, if the traditional sense isn't working. Oh, guys, look. Trust. That was also the back of the deck energy as well. So yes, they want you to trust. Trust yourself. Trust your angels. You're very persuasive. Do yourself a favor and forgive yourself. Every time you think you messed up, tell yourself, I am thankful for the lesson I learned, and I forgive myself for the mistakes I made while in the learning process. So that's what I have for you, pile number 2. Like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Okay, pile number 3, if you chose the black tourmaline crystal. So with the energy of the black tourmaline, it is a stone of purification, cleansing the emotional body of negative thoughts, anxieties, anger, or unworthiness. So yes, anger, unworthiness, anxieties, any negative thoughts, anything as involving cleansing the emotional body and purification of energy, then you're going to want to take a moment to absorb the energy of this black tourmaline. As I'm holding it up, it is purifying and cleansing you. It is cleansing your emotional body. It is taking all of those negative thoughts, those heavy anxieties, that rageful anger, and all those feelings of unworthiness, and it is transmuting it and transforming it and purifying it into a more serving energy. Okay, it is taking that and it is making you feel grounded and feel elevated. So just take a moment to absorb and just take in this energy from this. Okay, all right, so with this pile number 3, I'm going to let you know what mistakes of the past are you here to correct. So first of all, let's find out the mistakes of the past. And you have health, farm, and trees. So I feel like your ancestors, lived off the land, or was heavily, yeah, I feel like they lived off the land. They maybe was interested, they were even healers as well, who took to like herbal medicine. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling like. They lived off the land, and they were probably like medicine men or medicine women. That's what I'm feeling like. So let's take a look at what their mistakes were in the past. You have intuition, after the storm in reverse, and release the hold and let love in. I'm hearing or feeling like there was maybe a fight over land, and I'm not even sure if this was in the past or currently. This could have even been a current thing, but yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna read up on these two cards because they are in reverse. Release the wound, release the dark wound, and let love live. When I'm thinking about this and these two cards together, I feel like some form of like anger or negativity, or just some form of like feelings. These feelings here led to bad health for your ancestors. They weren't able to transmute whatever feelings they were feeling into a positive energy. And when things in their life, like, so say for example they did have a farm, but they lost that farm, or there was some form of loss there, and they just held on to that, and it led to bad health, and it led to them to not weaving and following their intuition because emotions were just too high. And so they got stuck. Your ancestors got stuck, not seeing the bright things, this ungrateful energy, or just this anger, just being bitter. What is the word? Being spiteful, bitter. What is it? Holding like a grudge. This is very bitter energy here, because it's like you guys did have, like, your ancestors, they were all about health at one point. They was really healthy people. They lived off the land. They had everything they needed. They didn't need for nothing. They didn't want for anything. And then something happened. Maybe, like I said, maybe they lost the land or lost their farm, or something happened that triggered a very strong emotional reaction that they weren't able to shake, okay? And then that bitterness just ran through the next bloodline, and the next bloodline, and the next bloodline, and then there's this anger and this resentment going on in the family where everybody's like played against each other, or there's distance, or you go this way, I'll go this way type of thing. Even betrayals or snakes in the grass or something. Because I didn't even see this. What is this? I didn't even see that. Is that a cat? Oh yeah, there's a cat. It's a cat, but I didn't even see it at first. Came out of nowhere because it's a black cat. But black cats represent like transformation. I mean, not transformation. Well, yeah, you could have even been going through, like, your family could have even had a hard time transitioning, whatever form of transition that they had. But this black cat also represents protection, like even trying to like hide or something. I want some clarity. I'm gonna get clarity on this because I'm really curious about what their mistake was. Like, what mistakes did pile number 3 ancestors make in a past life? Okay, so maybe, okay, so I'm feeling like something burned down. Maybe like your house burned down, or maybe there was like an accident like that where someone caused a fire and it just pissed off your ancestors, because where did that fire even come? Like, who started the fire? You know? Okay, trying to escape. Again, like I said, like trying to go incognito, Were you hiding from someone? Were your ancestors hiding from someone? Because I'm feeling like with this like scapegoat, like, okay, so yeah, of course I'm feeling like they lived off the land, but they've also okay, because maybe like shrooms or like herbs that give you that high. And I'm feeling like they really like escaped their problems through these earthly drugs. But it, you know, it messed with their health. They weren't able to connect like they were. Eventually it became an addiction where they needed whatever they was using in order to get rid of those heavy feelings. Okay, they ended up like becoming so dependent on it, these ancestors, or this ancestor. So they took to it because they weren't able to follow their dreams. So your ancestors weren't able to follow their dreams, or either they weren't able to follow their dreams, or this particular ancestor, what they wanted to do was so different, was so like, it's like wanting to be a clown when everybody else is in health and medicine, you know, like just taking a whole different path. And this ancestor took a completely different path and was not supported by the family. And took to drugs and escapisms, different ways to escape these emotions of feeling like nobody is supporting my dreams, nobody likes me, like very emotional. Poisons, yes, poison mummy. Okay, you guys, your ancestors was definitely into, I don't even know what type of, but I'm feeling like earthly herbs that made you high. So it could have been shrooms, it could be alcohol, whatever it is. You didn't, it made your ancestors just was at an all-time low. This particular ancestor, this is a particular ancestor, and this ancestor is also connected very strongly to you. So yes, there's like some very strong emotions, dark emotions that you need to bring light to. Okay, yeah, this ancestor let their emotions control them to the point where, okay, y'all, because what I'm feeling like is a fiend. I'm feeling fiend behavior, to where you develop this hard exterior, not you, so to speak, but this ancestor developed a hard exterior in order to continue living. Because I mean, how do you go from just being this very bright and beautiful, like optimistic, naive in a way, very sweet, kind, gentle energy, to becoming just this hard exterior, just this no life inside type of person? Because this ancestor grew to be very sad and bitter and regretful, and that led to them doing drugs, and that led to them trying to escape life until they died. Like, I feel like they either set fire to forest, or set fire to their own place, or their family's place, or whoever wasn't supporting them's place. So their biggest mistake was, instead of embracing their emotions and following their intuition, they became bitter and rageful and became a slave to their emotions, to the point where they had to do drugs in whatever form, and those drugs or whatever the emotions they were just holding on to, it affected their health, and eventually they died from it. That's what I'm seeing as far as their mistake. Yeah. Rescue prisoners. They were a prisoner to their emotions, and they were a prisoner in their life. They felt like they were a prisoner because they couldn't express these emotions. And look Look, you have people around, but look at this ancestor. It's just over to the side, and then you got these ancestors, these other ancestors that's just like sort of like judging them. Like, look at them, they want to be a clown while we're all super beautiful elves with tattoos and amazing and got jewelry. And yeah, you definitely was judged by, this ancestor was definitely judged by the other family members. They were definitely judging you, or you definitely felt like the outcast. You felt like you didn't belong because, like, look at them over there just trying to hide. Your ancestors' family did not agree with them at all, because it's like they were like not royalty, but I mean, they could have been royalty. They could have been royalty, or just someone who was a family who was well off. And they left his ancestor with all these emotions, who had like very bright ideas, life-changing ideas. And someone probably told you, or the ancestor, that that was stupid. Why would you want to do that when we are like this? It's kind of like, if you've ever seen The Little Mermaid, when Sebastian was telling Ariel that she was crazy for wanting legs when she had all of this, she was royalty. Okay, male or women, that is what I'm feeling like. You wanted to do something that was completely different than what you were. I keep saying you because I'm feeling like this might also apply to your current life, but this ancestor's influence, because this is what you're meant to correct anyways. You're meant to find a different way of dealing with your emotions that doesn't involve drugs, that doesn't involve you finding an escape. You're meant to face them. You're meant to face them, and you're meant to do whatever it is that you want to do in this life. And it doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter if your family accepts you or accepts what you're doing or not. You have to do what you want to do, or you have to do what you feel called to do. You have to follow your intuition. Otherwise, you will be down in the dumps, and you cannot depend on any substance to help you face these emotions. You got to be brave enough to do it. And so let's look at the advice from your ancestor. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. And then you have a time to give rather than take, and that's in reverse. I'm gonna look up that card. Okay, so a time to give rather than take, it was in reverse. So if a situation is blocked at the moment, it could be that you're over analyzing things or being too critical. Yes, that's what I see. But I mean, I see that because, like, right here, that could be like, that's how you perceive people judging you, or that's you judging yourself, that you're over analyzing things or being too critical. It's time to ask less what someone else can do for you, and to think more about what you can do for others. Recommit to health. Your health, if you chose this, your health is a little bit wonky, or a lot bit wonky, and it has to do with your emotions, and it also has to do with the fact that you're not really taking care of yourself. You're at a point where you're just like, whatever, I don't care, because you're just heavy on yourself. You got this strong exterior, but you're really, really sad inside, and you might even want to burn down your house. I don't even know. Like, that because, like, things get so sometimes it's just like, I just can't take it here no more. Yeah, but your health. Recommit to healthy mornings and evening routines. Gradual improvements are coming. Pay attention to detail if you want success without being pedantic. Be of service to others, and love and money will follow. Yes, that's another thing that I feel like, because in the beginning you were like, this ancestor was in the beginning, you know, chasing their dream, and then someone told them that it was stupid. How much money can you make from being a clown? We are what, you know, we are, I don't know, like, we are, what do you call it? We work with royalty, and you want to be a clown, you want to be a jester. We are counselors. We sit on the throne with the king, you know, type of thing. And you want to be a clown? You know, how much money can you make doing that? making people silly little jokes. You know, like some people like downing you, and then that's how you feel about yourself. You're just, at that point, this ancestor decided to chase the money, or, you know, actually this ancestor, I feel like, just completely shut down and took to escaping, because it's like, I'm never going to live up to their expectations because I don't agree with it, and I don't want to be a part of that. I want my life to be colorful and creative. I want it to be bright and beautiful. I want to make a difference in the world. And your family, that ancestor's family, was just like, nobody's doing that. And then so in your current life, I feel like you have chosen to, you know, chase the money, and it's not bringing you satisfaction, because you need to come back to serving others and doing things just for the sheer love of it, and know that money and success will naturally flow from it. Okay, and so the teaching of this card is Virgo is the sign of health, service, and analysis. Its energy is precise and has the feel of harvest about it. When this card comes up, it could be that a wonderful bounty is coming your way. However, the energy of the new moon in Virgo is usually about getting your life in order. So that's what you need to do at the time of the Virgo moon, and act whenever you pull this card. So you have to get things in order for things to fall into place. Oh look, after the storm, I just realized that it's under after the storm, which means that things may be becoming uprooted into your life, things that have been needed to go, emotions and thoughts that been needed to go, so that you can learn to follow your intuition and don't repeat the patterns of the past, which I feel like maybe you're already doing, because during this whole reading I kept saying you, like I was talking to the reader. I mean, not the reader, but I was talking to the viewer. So I do feel like this is like directly affecting you currently. Okay, trying to find escapes. Okay, but conclusions are within reach. Your ancestor has that, definitely that advice for you. Okay, you guys, so with this conclusion are in reach, forgiving someone for what they did could be the key to resolving this situation in a positive way. It doesn't make right what they did, but it releases it so you can move on. That which is meant for me will not pass. So don't get hung up on the things that are leaving your life when things are chaotic in your life with this storm. Things that are meant for you will not go anywhere. Doors which will slam shut Doors which slam shut now will not reopen. It's time for you to get back on track. Forgiveness will set you free of karma. Meditation, pranayama, and yoga nidra are all recommended now. Side control and let events unfold. Yeah. Wow, you guys. Yep. So more advice from your ancestor is that your life is a canvas. Wow. Your life is a canvas. Make it how you want it. Artist, manifestation. Manifestation came out again. So you are manifesting now. You are manifesting into your life, and so your ancestor is just confirming to you that you're manifesting and your manifestations are on the way. Okay, creative accountability. So it's time for you to take accountability for your life. It's not just about, well, this person did this and my ancestor made those choices and blah 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 blah. No, you have to be accountable for your life. You have to be accountable for your life. Oh my God, I thought I was going to say something else. But yes, you have to be accountable, responsible for yourself, for your life, for your health, for your well-being. You are responsible. You are your mother, you are your father. Nurturing yourself, nurturing your ideas, that's when your mothering comes into play. Tending to yourself, showing yourself discipline and structure and routine, that is your father. Okay? Breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Okay, this is about you once being in your own way and you finally moving out of your own way, moving out of the universe's way so the universe can make moves on your behalf. Okay, I'm gonna pull another one because what other advice does this ancestor would like to say to pile number? Empathetic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Okay, they want you to let that go because what you have absorbed is not yours. The seven sisters, birthing. Okay, y'all are officially legitly manifesting. Okay, we have manifesting come out like 3 or 4 times. Birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression. You need to learn how to creatively express. You weren't able to, well, not you, but your ancestors, this particular ancestor was not able to creatively express himself because he was so busy trying to put his life together in a way that would fit his families or the people around him, and he got super judged for it, and he just took all of that to heart instead of just living in his truth like he wished he had. So I'm going to pull a couple of word cards for you. Aw, look at this. Courage. Have the courage to live your truth and speak your truth. You have the support of thousands. Your ancestor is telling you, and I got goosebumps. Have the courage. They didn't have the courage. They instead took the easy way out, which wasn't the easy way out. It just actually hurt them times 10. But they wish they followed their intuition. They really, really wish they followed their intuition and just did what they wanted to do. But they didn't have the courage. They want you to have the courage. A year from now, okay, keep it consistent. Aw, then you have sadness. Murdered. Okay, so this ancestor, was this ancestor murdered? Or maybe a loved one in your life was murdered and that led you to some deep sadness. Okay, then you have Taurus in reverse. So you can be a Taurus, have Taurus in your chart. This ancestor could be a Taurus, but either way, you or them were showing signs of jealous, stubborn, lazy, dependent, imbalanced, and materialistic. Okay. When they say you are being egotistical, it means that you're talking more than listening and taking more than you give. You need to bring balance back into your... Oh, look at that. Ego twice. Your ego is blocking you, getting in the way. Your ego and your intuition are not the same thing. You also have carnelian, passion and creativity. So you need to channel Mr. or Mrs. Sadness. You need to channel that sadness. Channel those emotions, especially if murdered. Okay, murdered. I don't know if if this ancestor was murdered by a family member or this ancestor was murdered by someone who was jealous of them. But that's what I'm picking up here. And I'm also picking up, if you're watching this, you also have a loved one in your life who was murdered. And that left you with a very deep wound. Pile number 3. And you are being asked to have the courage to channel those emotions creatively. And I'm getting goosebumps all over my body. And it's like begging you. This ancestor and this passed on loved one is... Yes, sorry you guys, I just literally used that. But yes, there's a loved one that came through that may have been murdered, okay? Left a deep dark wound, and they want you to, when you're feeling very sad or very emotional about their passing, channel it creatively. Channel that sadness into creativeness. They're like, I'm like, you are so stubborn, it just makes me want to shake you. Literally, because it's like, they're like, listen, this one time, just listen to me. Beautiful beginnings, successful come from this. You start being creative, pile number 3, listen to me. Listen to me. You start being creative and continue to be creative. Over a year, you will see such success. Hey. Oh my gosh, look y'all. In your childhood, you were very creative. Channel that back in. That will also help you connect more with your inner child. Creativity is the way I share my soul with the world. I love my inner artist. I'm telling you, y'all, you've had ancestors in the past, one specifically, who was living a very similar life to you currently, and they're telling you with such surety, if you have the courage to allow yourself to be creative, you will be successful within a year. They're telling you this. And then you have no. Are you really not going to be creative, pile number 3? Because I feel like you're so stubborn, it's ridiculous. If I told you you are what you eat, would you eat healthier and bless your food more and drink more water and laugh more and go outside more? That's what I need you to do. Be the best you that you can be. And then you have, I get it, you made a mistake. In this life, you will make more. That is the learning process. You cannot learn without trial and error. So please, pile number 3, take all of what I just said and use it so that you can become super successful within a year. It's going to blow you away. So yeah, and that way you won't be wishing and regret, and you don't regret and you don't pass on those regrets to your children or the future the future people from your line. You won't die with regrets. That's what I have for you. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope that was helpful. Okay, pile number 4, who chose the amethyst. Is this clear? So yeah, with amethyst, I am getting someone who is very intuitive. Doesn't matter if you listen to it or not. These ancestors of yours are very intuitive, very psychic, or very one of the clairs, clairaudient, claircognizant, okay, clairvoyance. That's what I'm seeing. Like these your ancestors are very psychic, very spiritual, very magical. Okay, that's what I'm getting from this. Amethyst is also, used for calmness, tranquility, peace, and it's very healing. It's good for the third eye, which brings clarity. It enhances your visions, sharpens your spiritual enlightenment, and things like that. Okay, so sorry about that. So I'm going to the mistakes of your ancestors that you're here to right. Food and hunger in reverse. Mother in reverse. Leaving or traveling in reverse. Hold on a dang-gone minute. Okay, because this is about to get very, very deep. Okay, so if you chose this pile, the lineage of your mothers, or the mother lineage, okay, that is what you're here to fix. Connecting with children, connecting with your children if you have children. I feel like your ancestors, or your mothering, and the mothers of your ancestral line. Okay, so food and hunger means that there was like a lack. So there was a lack of parental, specifically mothering. There was a lack of mothering, lack of connection. Okay, food and hunger, that means that I feel like your mother did not nourish or nurture. Okay, I feel like your mother, whether she left you or not, was very distant. And not literally you, but the mothers in your family line. Maybe the mothers in your family line, no offense you guys, this is just what I'm seeing in your family line. Doesn't mean you currently, but in your family line, your mothers were not good mothers. They didn't know how to be, so to speak. All right, so the mistakes. Okay, and unfit as in angry, like mean, and manipulative as in the form of like the brain came out twice. Controlling, manipulative, controlling your mind, controlling the way you think. Just narcissistic behavior. And my battery's about to die, you guys, so I'll be right back. Okay, pile number 4, sorry. Okay, so let me back up. Why is that so close? Okay. So yeah, you guys, like I said, there's the situation involving the mother, because all of these was in reverse. And I'm seeing, because I got clarity on this card, and so I'm seeing like there is a situation where either the children are judging or the mother is judging, and nothing that you do is ever good enough for that type of energy. Okay. Still trying to hold on to, you know, I don't know, trying to hold on to things that are leaving your life. You might struggle with abandonment issues, struggle with trying to understand like why maybe your mother is the way she is, or why all of the mothers in your family line are that way. They're distant, maybe they lack that mothering, like they don't act like a mother. Okay, with all of this in reverse, big bold vision. Okay, yeah, again, maybe feeling like nothing you do is ever good enough for your mother. And by your mother, I mean that's how your ancestors felt. There was a strong need to try and please the mothers. Okay, the mothers, you know, do whatever you can, drain your energy, and everything you do is still not good enough. Okay, so much to the point where it drains you. Okay, not you, but just all of these ancestors behind. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna get, yeah, so I'm really feeling like the mothers are narcissistic mothering is what I'm seeing. I'm gonna get some clarity, just a little bit more clarity, because don't judge. Okay, your ancestors don't want you to judge like your mother. I'm feeling like, let me get some clarity on this. Clarity on this pile, please. Look, leaving and traveling, transportation. Okay, so mother's leaving. Then you have the arts, that big bold vision there. So maybe you, these ancestors. Okay, the ancestors that I'm channeling are children. Yes, goosebumps for confirmation. Okay, that makes sense, because I'm like, I'm not understanding it ever. Okay, so either this is like a situation where the mothers gave up her children, or the mothers left their children. There's two things that I'm seeing there, so it's either one. Okay, either the children left the mother, or the mothers left their children. But there is that situation, there's just, the situation is the same, where there's this disconnection from the mother and child. Okay, what was the mother doing? All right, so that's all I'm getting as far as that. So okay, you have a fear of being left, you have a fear of abandonment, you have a fear of people walking out on you, because throughout your family line you've had important figures, like a mother figure leaving you, or a father figure leaving you. But in this specific case, I'm literally seeing a mother. So your ancestors have always had situations where the mother is withholding her love. Okay, a mother is withholding her love in order for you to comply. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. And you're afraid to be alone. You're afraid of people leaving you. Confirmation. You're afraid of people walking out of your life, because there's this strong sense of mothering that needs to happen. Your mother, not literally your mother, but the mother figures in your bloodline. They're no good, because they don't know how to show love. Spirituality and religion. If you do have spiritual gifts, they come from your mother. The women line there, yes. But yes, that's what I'm seeing as far as, and then I have this card as well. So yes, feeling trapped, feeling bound by emotions, feeling trapped. Not, yes, again, like look at the hands, like just feeling trapped, wanting to hold on, but it's like, I want to look that card up specifically for you. Okay, so this is, yes, so you feel like you're a slave to the past, or a slave to your mind almost. You have a lot of shadow attributes currently, simply because, and it's not literally all your fault, but you do have the power. So you're not literally a powerless slave. You do have choice, you do have a say, and you can do things differently. Okay, so with this card, like I said, feeling bound and trapped, but you are as powerful as your mind allows you to be. You are as creative as your mind allows you to be. Don't be afraid to embrace your beautiful imagination. The void in which it resides is the womb that gives birth to a universe that is teeming with life and possibilities. To imagine and create is to make divine magic. You were born of a creative universal consciousness. You were born to create, and you have the arts right there. So yes, this is about like not allowing your fears to prevent you from leading a happy, productive, and fulfilling life. So if your mother sucked in this current reality, just know that in order to right the wrongs, you have to forgive your mother. You have to forgive your mother, but not in a sense that's saying that, oh, you forgive your mother because your mother was not wrong and she never did anything wrong. No, that's not to say that, and it's not to justify anything of your childhood or anything of your past, but you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive your childhood. You have to forgive your mother. And I say forgive your mother because she is what's the way you feel about your mother. You are giving so much of your energy and power away to situations that involved your mother and where you were feeling powerless and helpless. So in your current life, you are feeling powerless and hopeless and just full of hate, rage, and judgment for not only yourself, but for your mother as well, which we come from our mothers. Okay? And I don't even know where I was going to say with that, but yes. We do not express our thoughts, feelings, because we fear what others will do, think, or of us if we are honest. We imagine failures, so we simply not try. The Nine of Air represents the opportunity to use our imagination to banish our imagined fears. You may have a fear of heights, even if you have not fallen in reality, because you have imagined falling. Or you may choose not to take an opportunity and try because you have imagined failure. Likewise, you may reject a potential relationship because you imagine it not working. But just as you imagine your worst fear, you can also imagine success. So yes, you guys, that's that. Alright, and so I'm going to tell you the advice from your ancestors, which again, I'm feeling like it's the children. I'm literally feeling very sad for the children, because children are representations of unconditional love, and we are gifted with children so that we can be taught again unconditional love. But when we are born to a mother who is not able to give us that love we feel we need, or that love that we want, it becomes trauma for us. And I feel like this pal has a lot of trauma when it comes to mothers and not being loved correctly and not being shown how to be given and to receive love. Okay, you maybe, I don't know, like you and your mom had a lot of fights, or just a lot of disagreements, or just a lot of distance. You felt like your mother wasn't there for you. And this is just this energy of the ancestors, ancestors of the children. Because there's a lot of innocence in this pile too, but there's a lot of anger and frustration, because it's like you feel like you didn't deserve this. You feel like, you know, and it's true, it's not your fault. So you should not be blaming yourself. And as an adult, allow yourself to be free from judgment. Okay, and now I'm going to tell you the advice from your ancestors. You have a fiery climax approaches. So this is like, yes, this pile is angry. This pile is angry. Is feeling a lot of anger, a lot of rage. If you can, tap into your creative energy and find a creative outlet. Look at the bigger picture. That will help you to get out of that victim mind. Look at the bigger picture. What have you learned? Even if your parents were shitty and you're a parent now and you're being a great parent, you've learned that. You've learned what it felt like to be isolated, to feel quote unquote hated from your own mother. And you felt that disconnect, and you decided that no, my child, if I ever had a child, never ever feel that way. I will be there for them. I will be supportive. That's you breaking the cycle. And it will help if you looked at the bigger picture in terms of career, your big bold visions as well. Show the world the real you. Don't be afraid, because you're judging yourself harshly, but the world isn't judging you. I mean, the world is judging, but you know what I'm saying? Like, show the world the real you. Stop hiding behind your phobias. The golden children, like I said, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. I said I was picking up like children. Yes, your inner child needs you to mother it. Your inner child is feeling neglected. And then you have activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. So in situations where you are traveling or thinking about moving or thinking about leaving or even thinking about forgiving your mother, trust where you're being led. It's not for no reason. And that's what I have for you. I'm gonna pull. I am letting go of today's stress. I invest my time in doing what makes me feel good. I welcome change. I use my time wisely. Ah, yes. Sure got a yes. Brainstorm. Write it down. Write down your ideas. Write down everything. Okay, we have some career cards as well. We have 3 career cards for you. So if you maybe was like, well, what would I be good at? Oh, you have 3. Translator, journalist, stockbroker, stylist, makeup artist, acting, diverse, travel, socializing. That may be something that you're interested in. Then we have soldier, personal trainer, entrepreneurs, rescue workers, sports, go-getters, values fitness, and aggressive. We have writer, editor, gardener, architect, teacher, landscaper, photographer, and YouTuber. We also have poetry. Ooh, channel that poetry. Channel that your emotions into art. Crafter, creator. Okay, just giving you some ideas. This is not for you, but something better is on the way. Okay, so maybe you've been chasing after something that isn't going to lead you anywhere. That's why it's important to brainstorm and write it down. So if something isn't working out and things isn't working out the way you're doing it, or things isn't working out, period, that is a clear sign that this is not for you. No matter what you do, it's not working. No matter if you do it differently and it's not working, that's a sign that this is not for you. Something better is on the way. Public speaking and good listener. So those are what the words that I have for you, you guys. Ooh, no. Spiritual jumping. Oh, practice gratitude. Simply saying thank you for your blessings. Your mind is amazing. Now you already know. See, you already know these things that I'm already telling you. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know about yourself. Final card, if you love and honor yourself, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. And I'm going to leave it at there, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And